Okay, I've been promising you a video on a tincture, some of you that I've talked to. So I am going to do a tincture of yarrow. This yarrow was practically taking over my whole box here, so I just pulled a bunch out. You have to have a plant material that you're going to tincture with, so I'm going to use yarrow. I think I have talked to you about the benefits of yarrow and discussed it before, but I will go over that briefly, as well as make the tincture. So let me show you what the next step is after I pulled. And I didn't have a lot of the flowers. They say most of them, or a lot of the medicine is in the flowers, but I do have some dried flowers in the house I will also add to my tincture. But let me show you what I'm doing with the stuff that I pulled out of here. I'm trying to clean this box out and I'm going to use it. Okay, while I'm going through my yarrow, I'm watering, so I have to set it down and come move my hose because they're going to be shutting our electricity off, so I got to water everything really good. Okay, these are a little bit wilted. I laid them out here yesterday, and that's fine. I usually use dry material to do my tinctures, and for oils it's almost always better to have dry material for oils, especially because if you have moisture it's more apt to mold and stuff like that. With the tinctures you can get away with it a little bit more. Just have to be careful. So it's kind of wilted a little bit, but still green, and I'm going to use this to do my tincture along with some of my dried flowers. What I'm doing right now is, this bunch is the clean bunch. I'm going through here pulling all the weeds and different things out, making sure there's, I don't usually see bugs in my yarrow, but I still look and get it all cleaned up, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, let me tell you just for a minute a few things about yarrow while I'm going to check on my water. I'll take my time so I can talk to you too. Okay, it's called Achillea millefolium. Everyone knows usually about how it stops wound bleeding, and it's supposed to help with menstrual bleeding and pain as well, and lowers blood pressure, and parts supposed to help with brain, some things on the brain, improve circulation. Now, one thing about it is you can make yarrow tea, which I think I'm going to save some of this and make for yarrow tea. I'm not sure how much dried I have in the house, so I may dry some, tincture some. I'll see how much I can get. I can always come pick more if I need it, I guess. And if you use the yarrow tea, it might help on the inside, toning up so you don't, if you have a little bleed in there or something. It's supposed to help with digestion, probably because it helps fight against inflammation. It's supposed to help depression, anxiety. But let me say one thing about it. Do not use yarrow at least 2 weeks before surgery if you're going to have surgery, because I don't know, they just suggest that. So you want everything to be pretty much running as normal as possible. The doctors can keep on top of what you're taking, what you're doing before surgery. I am not a doctor. I want to specify that. And no, I don't claim to be, but I'm just sharing with you things that I've researched and found on my own. And, but yarrow, all your plants, you get so many benefits, but each plant, most plants have an affinity for some particular part of the body. It's not like you can just take an herb also like a pill. Herbs are different than drugs. And everybody's body is different, is going to handle each herb differently. Try a little bit. See if you're allergic to it. Some people are allergic to certain things, and if you're not, see if it helps you. Sometimes it may take a while. There was one herb I was taking seemed to be working at all, and I almost gave up on it. I tried it again later, and I just made it a whole lot stronger, and it actually worked. So play with them a little bit. Get them, try them, see what you can do with them. Okay, next we will go on to the actual tincture making. Oh, sometimes they wonder why I'm doing this. I hope we don't get burned out. I don't want to speak it into existence. We're not. We just got out from under evacuation, warning from the Big Bear fire. And now, just a few blocks away from us, is another fire going. It's going pretty good with a little bit of a wind behind it. But it's only about 10 acres. But in all this dry, it could jump really fast. They've got planes on it and continual sirens. Okay, anyway, what I was saying, always get these calls I have to take. It's about the fire. Okay, now, I do not drink. If you look at that, it looks like it. This almost looks like white lightning, huh? But no, it's vodka. I buy it in huge bottles, and then I bottle it in extra bottles that I have. You need at least 80 proof or more when you're doing a tincture. If you're doing an alcohol tincture, now not rubbing alcohol. Do not use rubbing alcohol. You can't take that. You're going to be taking these tinctures internally. So no rubbing alcohol. But you can use other kinds. Now, with this, I tried, they say elderberry was good in, what is this? I don't even know my alcohol. I don't think it's brandy. It is, what is it? Yeah, it is brandy. Okay. I think that's what I used for my last elderberry tincture. I wanted an elderberry tincture instead of a syrup because there's so much sugar in the syrup, and I'm trying to stay away from that. And the tincture lasts longer than the syrup does. And when you're really sick, you just put a little bit of tincture in some water. If you can take it straight, but it's really tough and burns the stomach if you're not used to alcohol, and I'm not. So I mix it with some water and swallow it down. But you can use other things, other mediums. My brain is not with it. I'm sorry. I've just got a lot going on. A lot's happening at this moment. I can't think of it right now. But there's other things that you can use. I'm going to show you the one. If I don't think of it while I'm doing this, I'll put it down in the description below. I don't know where my brain is. Okay, this is really, really very simple. You want a good, clean, sterile jar to start with. I'm going to pack my flowers and my leaves into this jar, and then I'm going to use the vodka. I don't have a lot of the brandy left. I just wanted to show you can use different things. Again, I don't drink, but this is for medicine, and it's pretty strong. But you don't need a lot of it's the good thing. So let me get the tripod, set the camera up, and you can watch while I'm doing this. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I've got a few of my dried flowers I told you about. I'll put them down in there. And I want to get all these little flowers, make sure they're in there because I don't have a lot of flowers. I want to save some for my tea. And I could probably use, looking for my big knives, they must be in the dishwasher, so I could probably use these stems, but I'm not going to. They're kind of stiff, they don't bend as well to get down into the jar. And remember, I already cleaned these, so I'm going to stick those in the jar. Now, once I get it covered, I'm going to walk by this. I'll leave it out on the counter. And I usually put it, I'll show you when I get done here where I put it. But for the first few days, I want to make sure that I shake it every day a few times. You want to keep the material down underneath the medium that you're using. I'm going to be using vodka. So I want to keep it down below the vodka. So if you have material up and exposed to the air, it can mold. So let me see here. Do you hear the plane? They're flying right over our house because the fire is not far. But it should be okay. It's not like up in the mountains with all kinds of pine trees. It's just trees, houses, and grass, and cows and goats and chickens. They don't burn quite as fast, and people don't burn quite as fast as in the forest. So they're right on it. We've got some wonderful firefighters. They are right on it. Okay, there we go, you can see. But what I'm going to do to keep that down below, I have these little glass tops. They actually need the small one. This is the big one, and it actually fits right up on top like that. Isn't that cool? Found some of these at a flea market when I lived in Kentucky. But I have some small ones, and they make great weights to hold your stuff down, because this is a wide mouth. So this one is for a small mouth jar, a lid like that, but it makes a great weight. So I'm going to stick that down there to kind of hold that plant material down under the vodka. Okay, and then I'm going to get my ring and lid. Guess what I found today? At Walmart, no less. I found some canning jar lids, wide mouth. Okay. Now I'm going to shake this a little. Make sure my glass thing. So I want to make sure the air bubbles are down. Okay, see, some of that material got out from under when I should have shook it before I put the glass down. I'm going to stick that in there. Let me pull this back up. Some of my material got loose. Do not want that loose. I'm going to go around the edges, and I see I've got lots of bubbles coming up. Let's get all the air out of there. I've got lots of air bubbles in that. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. Now let me get all that material pushed down in there again. Let's drop this down as a weight. There we go. Okay, now I will put my lid on. And I am not done. I'm going to go get my tape that I write on, and I'm going to put what it is and the date, because usually they say about 6 weeks, but I think I'm going to leave this a couple months at least, maybe 3 months if I don't need it. I don't know, because I use a Yarrow tincture in my mouthwash, so I will be making some more. I'll see what other. Sometimes I have to leave one of my tinctures out of my mouthwash, but I think I'm out of some others. I haven't been making tinctures lately. So I'm going to go get that. Hold on. Okay, this is just masking tape. Very cheap. One of the cheaper things you can get to. I have so many jars and stuff and everything that I need to put on. Okay, so I'm going to write Yarrow. Now, I'm going to put the date. I think it's the 25th today. 25/20. And I will know that's the date that I put that in here, so I can wait a couple months at least before I use it. I want it good and strong. So I'm going to take that off now. Put my cap back on so my pen doesn't dry out. Now this isn't really fancy, but it's cheap and it's quick because I'm very busy this time of year. I could make fancy ones on the computer, except my computer crashed. I'm on my laptop. I'm not sure if I can get my printer to work with my laptop yet or not. I'm working on trying to get everything hooked up. Okay, now I know, and let me switch this out so I can show you where I put it. Okay, up in my cabinet, this is where it's nice and dark. That's where I usually put it, but I'm going to leave it on the counter for a few days so I can shake it, and then after that I will put it up to set for a couple months out of the way in here. And whenever I think about it, if I miss some days, that's fine, but the first few days I want to make sure that I check it and maybe shake it, take the top, that weight out and shake it and put the weight back. But that's a nice dark place. I store my colloidal silver there. I do have videos on, one video is uses for colloidal silver and another video is how to make colloidal silver. So go over to my channel. At the top there's a list of things. Look under videos and click on that, and you can, there's also a search bar, just write in colloidal silver and you can find it if you want to know how to make that. So anyway, if you have any questions, just leave in the comment section below. Please give me a thumbs up, share with anybody you think might like it. If you do all those things like comment and all that, it helps get my videos out. They don't seem to be going out very well. So anyway, I thank all my wonderful, wonderful subscribers for watching and their faithfulness, and they're just wonderful people. I've made some wonderful friends that I email. We send things back and forth. And some just encouragement. I had one sweet lady send me a song that was really a blessing to her and thought it might be to me. You guys have no idea what things like that mean to me. Sometimes I literally get tears rolling down my cheeks that somebody would be that kind to me. And I just love y'all. You're wonderful people. I'm praying. I pray for my subscribers. God bless you all, and we'll catch you later.